Violence and brutality are common themes in Greek mythology, reflecting the culture and values of ancient Greek society. In many myths and stories, violence is used as a means of achieving justice or achieving a goal, and it is often portrayed as necessary and justified. One example of the theme of violence and brutality in Greek mythology is seen in the story of Hercules. In this myth, Hercules is a great hero known for his strength and ability to perform superhuman feats. However, he is also violent. For example, in one of the most famous tales, Hercules is tasked with killing the nine-headed Hydra, a huge serpent that terrorizes the countryside. In this story, Hercules shows no mercy in his pursuit of the Hydra, brutally killing it with his bare hands. This act of violence is portrayed as heroic and necessary, as Hercules is able to save the people of the countryside from the terror of the Hydra. Another example of the theme of violence is the Trojan War. In this myth, the city of Troy is besieged by a powerful army of Greek warriors who are determined to capture the city and avenge the abduction of Helen, the wife of the Greek king Menelaus. The war is brutal and violent, with both sides suffering huge loss. Eventually, the Greeks are able to breach the city's walls and sack it, resulting in the violent deaths of many Trojans. The theme of violence and brutality in Greek mythology can also be seen in the stories of the gods and goddesses. In many myths, the gods and goddesses are depicted as being violent and vengeful, using their powers to punish those who go against them or to achieve their own ends. For example, in the story of Persephone, the goddess Demeter becomes angry when her daughter is kidnapped by the god of the underworld, Hades. She unleashes a terrible famine on the earth as punishment. Another Greek myth in which violence is very prevalent is the Odyssey by Homer. In the Odyssey, there are many battles that Odysseus and his companions face on their journey, such as the encounter with the monstrous Cyclops. These battles are often brutal and bloody, and they result in the deaths of many of Odysseus's men. At the same time, violence also serves as a means of achieving certain goals for Odysseus. Odysseus uses violence to defend himself and his companions against the various dangers they encounter on their journey, such as the Cyclops. Additionally, he also uses violence to assert his dominance over others when he blinds the Cyclops in order to escape from his cave. In this way, violence is seen as both a destructive and necessary force, one that must be used carefully and wisely in order to achieve success. In conclusion, violence and brutality are common themes in Greek mythology, reflecting the values and beliefs of ancient Greek society. Through their myths and stories, the ancient Greeks sought to explain the world around them, and violence and brutality were often portrayed as necessary and justified in their pursuit of justice and their quest for victory. Despite the violence and brutality that is present in many of the stories of Greek mythology, these myths and legends also contain important lessons and morals. The gods and goddesses, despite their battles, ultimately work together to maintain order. The heroes, despite their flaws and violent tendencies, often use their strength and bravery to protect the innocent and defend the weak. In this way, the violence in Greek mythology can be seen as a means of highlighting the importance of strength, courage, and justice. Overall, violence and brutality are significant themes in Greek mythology, from the gods and goddesses to the heroes and the monsters. The myths and legends of ancient Greece are filled with stories of conflict and blood. These stories can be seen as both cautionary and celebrations of strength and courage.